Welcome back, Lake listeners. Thank you for tuning in for more of Season 4 with our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast. Today I'm really excited because I have two of my really great friends here with me today, Mr. Kory Franks and Ryan Becher on the Jason Whittle All-Pro team. They are here to talk about an awesome topic today that applies to anybody that is listening. So it's really cool. Kory and Ryan, thank you so much for being here on the show. I'm so pumped to talk about you both and this topic that's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Kaylen.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to start the show with you both just sharing a little bit more about yourselves and kind of where you found the passion to do what you do.
Well, I grew up back in Illinois. Me and my wife moved down here about 7 years ago. Growing up, my parents were all into real estate, buying and flipping houses, having rental properties. And my dad kind of always instilled in me, like, if you're going to ever invest in anything, you invest in real estate. So that's kind of where my passion for real estate started. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to go down that route in life, why not make it a career and actually help other people kind of do the same thing?
Right.
So that's kind of where my passion came from. And from there, it's just kind of grown.
Well, that's really interesting that you had a dad that was, talking about something really great as far as investing in real estate, because not a lot of people know how much of a solid investment that is.
For sure.
So, what about you, Kory?
Yeah, I'm from Wardsville, a little town just south of Jeff City. So went to Blair Oaks and then got a finance degree and was working for an asset manager in St. Louis. And I just kind of had looked myself in the mirror. I was working a lot and was just caught behind a computer screen all day, every day, and it just wasn't me. I like interacting with people more, helping people, and so I kind of had to make a change there, and I tried to make money before I found out what I love to do. So I made a change and tried to find what I love to do, and then try to make money doing that. So and it's been amazing. So
you guys are on the Jason Whittle All-Pro team. Fun question. What do you guys consider yourselves pros in? I know that you probably have a awesome golf history, correct?
Yeah.
What are you a pro in?
Ooh. So is this real estate related or outside of real estate? I am a pro dad.
There you go.
So
That's awesome.
I'll have 3 kids here any day, so that is what I try my best at being as a good dad.
I love that. I love that. And congratulations on the new baby. That's so exciting.
Yes.
So I'm excited to get your take on this topic today. And we're going to talk about the power of goal setting, especially for this new year. So what is your first thought on the power of goal setting?
To me, goal setting is everything. I mean, all the way from our team. At the beginning of the new year, we just had our team business plan the other day. We, as a team, collaborate and create a goal for the entire new year. And from there, we meet with Jason again in January, and we break it down to do our own individual goals. And that can be both real estate related or personal goals related. We kind of combine it all to create one goal for ourselves. And it just kind of drives all of us for the new year.
Oh, cool. So you guys start on a team level and then go down to an individual level?
Yep.
That's
and
nice.
then at the end, it's fun to see because you take each person's individual goals, and when you combine them, typically they're pretty much where our overall team goal is at.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
What about you, Kory?
Yeah, we were kind of joking before the podcast because I said I was going to shake things up a little bit, but I have kind of a little different way of looking at it. When I set goals, it acts more as a ceiling to me more than a motivator.
Oh.
So, if the goal was a volume of a certain number, a lot of times maybe I just find myself around that number. So I look at it more on the day-to-day, what am I going to do today that's going to help, my future self is going to be thankful for, kind of one foot in front of the other approach, and just continue to stack day after day after day. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm usually happy with the result anyway.
Well, I like that you have that mentality about goal setting because it's different. I mean, you don't hear a lot of people, most people are probably motivated by goals, but I like how you said that it almost creates a ceiling and you want to go surpass that. So how do you do that in your mind? If you do have a production number, for example, Are you just like, nope, not even going to look at it?
I mean, we do it still, but the motivating factor is to I just want to be happy, and when I am doing as much as I possibly can, day after day after day, ultimately, I'm always going to be happy with that result. Usually, it works out as good or better than just defining that number a lot of times, for me at least.
I like that. So what seems to work with you when you want to set a goal personally? Like what do you do to like take action or make a process or get to that end result?
So the main thing I think is like what I do. I don't know about you, Kory, but I figure out what it is I want, and then I base a goal on that to see what's it going to take me to get there. I always, for myself, make a goal that I believe is achievable. I never set a goal that I know I'm never going to hit, and that helps me out. But I think the main thing is just figuring out what do you want and how am I going to get there, and that's what I base my goals on.
That's awesome. What about you, Kory?
I think similarly to him in that aspect. Like, ultimately, I just want to play. I want to play golf and not work my entire life.
Yes.
So, like when I'm doing all of this, if I'm doing it well enough, then ideally you have some free time to actually play golf. That's like my number one passion, and then real estate.
Yeah, that's
after
cool.
that. So yeah.
Well, you were like almost pro level with your golf history, right?
I played at Missouri State in college, and
That's
then
so cool.
I still play a lot.
Yeah.
So as much as I want.
I've golfed with him before, and to me, he's a pro. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
I get up there and like just hit the ball like 5 feet.
Yeah.
Even waste me. That's
I
hilarious.
try if it will go straight.
Yeah. So, okay, another question. How do you hold yourself accountable to whatever goal that you've created?
Well, going back to what I want out of life, I know what it's going to take to get there. And if I'm not doing what it's going to take to hit my goal, then I'm not going to get my end result of what I actually want with life. So that to me is the biggest thing. It's like if I'm not anywhere close to my goal, which I know is achievable, then I'm not doing something right. So, and that's kind of where I hold myself accountable.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. Mine is, I think I have this from being ultra competitive in sports, but I've got like a little voice inside my head. And when I'm not doing what, like deep down I know I need to be doing, I have this resounding guilt in there.
Really?
And sometimes it stinks because you just want to relax and do stuff, or like play golf or whatever it be, hang out with friends and family. But that like inner voice or whatever holds me accountable every day. And if I'm not doing what I need to do to accomplish what I want to, then I have to listen to that guy.
Yeah,
that
and
guy
like
there.
that guilt thought. Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I don't know if I necessarily have like so much of a little voice, but there's some of it in there. Mine is like I like hold myself accountable with my planner. Like that's my Bible. So if like it's in my planner, it has to get done. If it's not in my planner, I don't even know it exists.
Is that on your iPhone or?
Yeah, iPhone,
Yeah.
and I also have a paper version. Like I work off of both.
See, I'm old school. I have nothing on like a planner online. It's all handwritten paper, and
I think that's the beauty of goal setting though, because like everybody has their own way. You know, you have to find whatever way is going to work for you. But I think it's funny how everybody is different. Like you're a paper guy. I'm like a mixture. He's like an iPhone guy.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, we always joke like if somebody really wanted to, another team really wanted to create havoc on our team, they'd just come in and erase all our whiteboards with all our dates on it and steal our planners and everything.
That's hilarious. So it is said that something happens psychologically when you write goals down or put goals like a vision board in front of you. So there have been tons of studies done on goal setting, and the findings have proved that those who get specific, intentional, take action, and hold themselves accountable tend to reach their goals to be successful. So what are your thoughts on like writing it down and having it in front of you, or a vision board, for example?
yeah. I mean, all of that is probably true. I can't sit here and say that I do that. I kind of memorize what my goal is and what my wants are. And if I start getting off track of that, we do actually create a a business plan and model and how we're going to get there. So if I start swaying off track, I do sometimes go back and look at that and say, okay, I'm not doing something right now. I need to get back on track. I go back, look what I'm not doing, and it helps me get back on track.
That's good.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, mine is just like probably 15 minutes before I go to bed every night. Like I said, I'm more day to day. What can I do tomorrow that my future self is gonna thank me for, thank myself for. And so like probably 15 minutes before I go to bed every night, I kind of I think about what all happened today, and then create a list on my phone of like what needs to be accomplished tomorrow, and then I hold myself accountable from that list. Like it gives me a sense of accomplishment every day as well. It's weird, but
It's not weird.
Probably anxiety when it doesn't get accomplished.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's not weird though too, because like my list or my planner is the same way, and if I can't cross something off, even in my own head, I'm like, oh, this something is wrong.
exactly. And then you gotta, like, if you're waiting on someone else so that you can get it done, that's the worst.
Oh, I know. Like waiting on somebody else has to be so hard. But that is a good thing about like learning team camaraderie. And I'm sure you guys get a lot of that in Jason's team. Like I know that talking with Jason, you guys, do your business plan and then you bust it down on a monthly basis when you guys have your team meetings. That's something that I tried to do. Didn't necessarily work out for me as well as it works out for you guys on your team, but I did it more on like a weekly basis. So I just liked the concept and then I tailored it to what worked for me. So I think a lot of people should take their time and kind of figure out what process works the best.
For sure. And even like with us being on a team and stuff, it helps drive all of us. So me and Kory specifically, we kind of have a competition. Kory's a newer agent than I am, but I'm still a new agent myself. We have a competition to beat one another. If he beats me, I'm not going to be happy about it, and he wants more than anything to beat me. So having that drive and competition, in the end, if we both reach our goals because of doing things like that, it's amazing. If he beats me at the end of it, awesome, because he's hit his goal and I've hit mine. We both succeeded, whoever wins that competition.
That's super cool. So friendly competition.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we put our our volume and all that like front center in our office so that everyone can see it. And it's not a boastful thing at all. It's more of a if I'm not happy with everyone seeing that, then probably we should do something about that.
Ooh, that's a good concept.
Like it's front and center for you to see. So that's kind of a motivating factor as well.
Yeah. That's a good concept. I like that. So do you think that your relationships that you have in your life can contribute to your ability to set goals or reach goals?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll take the relationship outside of real estate and do like my family and my wife. If I get somebody wanting to look at properties at 6:30 at night, well, by 7:30 we start getting the kids ready for bed and stuff. I'm not going to be there to help with that. But me and my wife luckily have kind of the same vision and same goals in mind in life. So she knows in order for me to achieve my goal, sometimes at 6:30 at night I'm going to have to go show properties, and she's okay with that, because if I didn't do things like that, I'm not going to be able to hit my goal.
Right.
So having that relationship and having somebody there to back me up whenever I need to go and do things, it's definitely helps me achieve my goals in real estate.
Well, and working on weekends and stuff too. And having kids, I relate. I mean, it can get kind of hectic when you're trying to show or do something, and then she probably has stuff on her own plate. So
it takes a lot of planning and coordination around each other's schedule, but we make it work.
That's awesome.
So. Sure. Yeah, when stuff is going good at home, it's easy to leave it there, but if it's going poorly, a lot of times it's a lot more difficult. But for me, those relationships outside of real estate are so important, because as long as you're really nice and you work hard, it seems like a lot of the rest of real estate is a networking game, and if those relationships are positive, then those people are more likely to want to work with you or refer you to someone to think of you. So.
Yeah. Well, and you recently got married. Congratulations, by the way. Your wife, do you guys have a similar structure too, where like you guys sit down, talk about your schedules, figure out what's working? Because, you're in real estate, so I'm sure you got to work weekends and stuff also.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do that. And hers is a little bit more structured than mine is. But yeah, for sure.
That's cool. So how has goal setting changed your career in real estate?
For me, everything in real estate is based around the goals that you have set. And before I got into real estate, I had a bunch of jobs and goals that I thought were goals of mine in life. And real estate has completely changed those goals. It's kind of made me open up and see I can do more than what I ever thought I could. And real estate is going to get me to my goals. And in order to do well, I have to do well in real estate to achieve the goals that I want in life. So real estate, it's definitely the goal setting I have creates the type of real estate career that I'm going to have as well. So.
Yes. Perfect. I love that answer.
Sure. Yeah.
You, Kory?
Real estate provides so much opportunity, not only for a lifestyle, but like financially as well. So it just has opened up so many doors to getting to where I ultimately want to be, where I don't have to work, but I probably will work probably my whole life. But it's just made it possible to where you don't have to stress about money or stuff like that.
Yeah, money, time, or
Yeah.
or things like that. Yeah, I love that. Okay, a couple more questions. This one is probably probably the most important one. But what would be some advice to our listeners for setting goals?
I would say you have to figure out your want. What is it that you want with your life, or what is it that you want now? You have to figure that out in order to set a goal that is going to get you to there. So I have a bunch of goals in mind, and we can explain them in a little bit or not, but I know what it is I want. I've set a goal that's going to get me to there. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say. You have to figure out what you want first, and then create goals that are going to get you to your want.
I like that you said you have to figure out what you want and then create stuff to get you there. And you have to be like uber specific too. Mm-hmm. Like something that I coach a lot of agents on is, when they're thinking about their why or their want, they're always like, okay, well, I want financial freedom. That's a great goal, but what does that exactly mean for you? Because financial freedom for a lot of people are different things, paying off debt or paying off credit cards or whatever. So you have to get like uber specific about what exactly that means for you. Do you do that?
For sure. I mean, you have to break it down, especially in real estate. You set a goal which might be a certain volume you want to hit in sales each year. Well, that volume's not just going to come to me.
Right.
You have to figure out how are you going to get leads. What are you going to do that's going to get you that number in volume? Mm-hmm. And that's where you break it down all the way to, okay, well, in order for me to get that, I have to get so many listings a year. Well, how am I going to get those listings? You break it down into steps that are going to get you the listings you need. Same thing with buyers. In order for me to hit my goal, I have to work and help this many buyers. How am I going to get those buyer leads? You break it down and figure out what you have to do to get the buyers as well.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, I would say, that was all great. I would say just don't let whatever goal you put in place limit you. Because a lot of times, to use a golf analogy, mm-hmm. a lot of times someone's goal will be to make the cut of the tournament, and when you set that goal, you always find yourself within a shot or two of making the cut, and you just end up kind of being average instead of just one foot in front of the other. Let's not. Sometimes we think too much about the big picture. I would mm-hmm. say instead of just one foot in front of the other, let's just do as much as I can possibly do, and ultimately, when you do that, you get a lot of satisfaction mm-hmm. from the results.
So you're almost kind of explaining paralysis by analysis almost. Yeah. If you think too much on it, you could, paralysize yourself. That's not even a word. But I'm going to roll with it anyway. But yes, you can put yourself in a position where you are not getting closer to your goal because you're too busy comparing yourself to other people and how they're progressing to their goal. Or I know in real estate we deal with that all the time, where I have agents that are like, oh, I'm watching all these teams and everything that they're doing, and it drags them down mentally and emotionally. And so that would kind of be my advice, is don't catch yourself comparing yourself too much or getting stuck in that paralysis by analysis. If you have a goal, set it, get your action items to get you there, and then go.
For sure. Yep.
So, okay, last question. Would either of you be willing to share some personal or professional goals that you have currently and what you're kind of doing to reach them?
Yeah. I mean, So some of my professional goals are going to get me my personal goals, and my personal goals kind of are when my kids are older and they're starting, whether it's band, sports, whatever they want to do, I don't want to be missing anything.
Aw.
So I kind of set goals now that are a little higher for me. That way down the road when my kids are busy and stuff, I can set lower goals for myself, but then on my personal goals, I'm able to achieve those. So that's one thing. Another thing, with real estate, you don't have any type of a retirement. So a goal of mine now is start preparing for down the road when I'm older, and that's buying rental properties and investing in real estate. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting slowly, but eventually down the road it'll build up. I'm starting to buy rental properties now.
Good for you.
So down the road, I have that goal taken care of where I can retire someday and have some sort of a retirement.
I'm so excited for you because I have a similar goal of like short-term rental properties.
Yeah.
So that's really, I hope that works out for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Kory, what about you?
Yeah, his was great. For me, it's just I want to have freedom of choice over my time so that I don't have to stress about work or if I want to be doing something else. So I just want to work hard, sacrifice now so that I can enjoy the fruits of those labors and play more golf down the road.
I love that. I love that. Well, Grow, Thrive, Inspire listeners, we could not be more thankful to Kory and Ryan for bringing their experiences and stories here and sharing it with us. You can connect with them at Kory.
Yeah, 573-298-1605 is my number, or Kory@jasonwhittle.com, where I'm super active on Facebook. So.
Okay. Ryan?
I'm not super active on Facebook, so either email or my direct cell number, ryanb@jasonwhittle.com or 618-304-7818.
Perfect. And remember that if you don't know what you want to accomplish, don't get discouraged. You can create a plan and get there. Take some time to set some goals, hold yourself accountable to them in a way that works for you. And we have even more of season 4 coming at you, so be sure to tune in on Wednesdays, or you can check us out on all of our platforms for all of the popular things happening around the lake, fun events on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, all of them, and also on 89.3 Key Radio in Osage Beach. And remember to always grow, thrive, and inspire, and we'll catch you next time.